Every generation leaves behind a legacy, etched not in words, but in stone, steel, and sky. We build to survive, but we dream to build bigger. From artificial islands to entire cities rising out of nothing, from solar farms so vast they're visible from space, to dams that change the course of rivers and history itself. Welcome to the age of mega projects. But these aren't just engineering wonders. They're battlegrounds of ambition, controversy, culture, and power. For every shining tower, there's a hidden story. For every billion-dollar budget, a ripple effect felt by nations, communities, and ecosystems. This is the Fair Story, presenting you the secret stories behind the world's most ambitious mega projects. In this episode of Beyond Concrete, we're traveling across 10 countries to uncover the truth behind today's most jaw-dropping builds. You'll meet the people who dare to dream them, the forces that shaped them, and the fallout they left behind. These are not just projects, they're seismic shifts in how we live, move, and survive on a changing planet. So buckle up, because the deeper we go, the more fascinating, flawed, and unforgettable these stories become. Stay tuned. Number 1. Forest City of Malaysia. It began with a dream, an emerald city rising from the sea, where technology, ecology, and luxury would blend seamlessly. Off the coast of Johor, Malaysia, Forest City was pitched as a futuristic metropolis unlike any the world had ever seen. Smart homes, vertical gardens, flying taxis, an entire city for the elite, floating on reclaimed land, just a bridge away from Singapore. Behind this dream was China's property giant, Country Garden, and early support from the Malaysian government. The project launched in 2015 with a jaw-dropping $100 billion price tag and a vision to house 700,000 people. It was an audacious leap, part China's Belt and Road ambitions and a symbol of the new Asia. But within a few years, the cracks began to show. Environmentalists raised alarms about the damage to marine ecosystems and the displacement of fishing communities. Malaysians started questioning why an entire city was being built seemingly for Chinese buyers. Luxury condos marketed heavily to foreign investors, while locals could barely afford the down payment. When Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad returned to power in 2018, he publicly condemned the project, calling it a foreign enclave. Then came the collapse of China's real estate bubble. Foreign investors dried up. Units remained unsold. Towering buildings stood empty. Roads led to nowhere, and the once glitzy promotional videos began to feel like eerie echoes of a utopia that never came. Today, Forest City stands as a haunting monument to overambition, a city built for no one. Number 2. Jubail Industrial City of Saudi Arabia. If Forest City is a vision gone quiet, Jubail is a machine that never stops. In the harsh desert of Saudi Arabia's eastern province lies a city that doesn't sleep, doesn't dazzle, and barely registers on tourist maps, but is responsible for a massive chunk of the kingdom's GDP. Jubail Industrial City was born in 1975 in the oil boom's wake. But this wasn't just a cluster of factories. It was the largest civil engineering project the world had ever seen. Partnering with Bechtel, the American engineering giant, Saudi Arabia poured billions into building an entire city from the sand. Roads, schools, desalination plants, ports, housing. Jubail was built to be an industrial powerhouse, the future of post-oil diversification. Today, over 100,000 workers from around the world work in Jubail's vast refineries, steelworks, and chemical plants. The city produces more petrochemicals than some countries do oil. It's a monument to planning and sheer logistical will. But behind the industrial miracle lies a complicated legacy. Environmental degradation has plagued the nearby coastline. Migrant workers have spoken of grueling hours, low pay, and harsh conditions. Yet Jubail continues, expanding even further in a second phase now underway. It is not glamorous, but it's powerful, and for Saudi Arabia, essential. Number 3. The New Nile Delta Project, Egypt. In the heart of Egypt's sun-baked western desert, a new lifeline is being carved. The New Nile Delta Project, launched in 2021, is one of the country's most ambitious attempts at survival. With over 100 million people clustered along just 5% of the country's land near the Nile, Egypt is quite literally running out of space. So, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi greenlit mega project that aims to change that forever, reclaiming over 2 million acres of desert to grow crops, settle people, and expand the boundaries of civilization. The goal? Secure food independence, reduce reliance on imports, and rebalance the country's population distribution. But transforming desert into farmland isn't as easy as laying down some irrigation pipes. Engineers have to divert Nile water across hundreds of kilometers. They face challenges with soil salinity, scorching heat, and the risk of over-depleting water resources. Environmentalists warn that the project could become unsustainable if not carefully managed. And then there's a human cost, displacement of Bedouin communities, questions about land ownership, and military contractors controlling much of the development. Still, the New Delta project symbolizes Egypt's fight against time, climate, and geography, a struggle to create life where there was once only sand. Number 4. The Line, Saudi Arabia. Now, let's pivot to what may be the most radical urban project of the century. The Line, a 170-kilometer linear city, slicing through Saudi Arabia's desert, housed in 2 parallel mirrored walls that rise 500 meters into the sky. No roads, no cars, no carbon footprint, just hyperconnected modules filled with vertical farms, schools, parks, and homes, everything within a 5-minute walk. This isn't science fiction. It's NILE, the centerpiece of Saudi Arabia's $500 billion vision for the future, led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. First revealed in 2021, the line promises to redefine how humans live, not expanding outwards, but upwards and forward. But grand dreams often come with grand controversy. Construction has already begun, and so have the criticisms. Human rights groups report forced displacements of indigenous tribes in the Tabuk region. Environmental concerns plague the idea of building a mirrored monolith through an untouched desert ecosystem. And engineers quietly question whether the physics of the project even makes sense at this scale. Yet, despite skepticism, the line continues to rise, its sheer audacity drawing both awe and alarm from across the world. Whether it becomes a model for post-climate cities or another cautionary tale remains to be seen. Number 5. Tesla GIGA-FACTORIES. From the deserts to the rest of the world, we zoom out to the global stage, where Tesla's GIGA-FACTORIES are quietly reshaping the future of energy and transportation. It started in Nevada in 2014. Elon Musk's idea was simple. It aims to produce enough batteries to power millions of electric vehicles and break our dependence on fossil fuels. But what followed was nothing short of an industrial revolution. Tesla's GIGA-FACTORIES, now spanning from the US to Germany to China, are massive. We're talking millions of square feet of fully automated production lines, churning out batteries, solar panels, and entire electric vehicles at mind-boggling speed. Each factory costs between $5 to $10 billion and employs thousands. They're hailed as technological marvels, but they haven't been without backlash. Labor disputes in Germany, water consumption controversies in drought-prone areas, and the looming question of whether any corporation should wield such immense influence over global green energy supply chains. Still, the GIGA-FACTORIES keep expanding. For Musk, they're not just factories. They're the engines of a new world. Number 6. Tuas Megaport of Singapore. In the southwestern tip of Singapore, beyond the city's iconic skyline, a monumental transformation is taking place. Hidden behind cranes, dredgers, and container stacks. This is Tuas Megaport, the maritime answer to Singapore's space problem, and a bold attempt to future-proof its economy. Launched in 2015, Tuas isn't just a port. It's set to be the world's largest fully automated terminal, capable of handling 65 million TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units, per year when fully completed by the 2040s. That's more than double what the entire country currently manages. Behind its planning is the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, partnering with local engineering titans and automation firms. The port will consolidate existing terminals into one hyper-efficient location using autonomous cranes, driverless vehicles, and smart systems that orchestrate cargo flows like a symphony. But to build it, engineers had to move mountains, literally. The project required extensive land reclamation, using millions of cubic meters of sand and dredged material. Environmentalists raised red flags about the marine impact, while geopolitical observers noted the strategic timing. Tuas positions Singapore to dominate regional trade for decades, right when global shipping lanes are being redrawn. The cost is over $20 billion US. But for Singapore, it's not just an investment in trade. It's a statement of survival in a high-stakes global economy. Number 7. Lusail city of Qatar. Just north of Doha lies a city that didn't exist 20 years ago. Today, it glistens with glass towers, artificial islands, and wide boulevards, all meticulously designed for future. This is Lusail City, Qatar's billion-dollar bet on post-oil prosperity and global prestige. The story begins in the early 2000s, when Qatar set out to create a city of the future, a smart, sustainable urban hub spanning 38 square kilometers. It would house 250,000 residents, feature a light rail system, smart infrastructure, and most famously, the Lusail Stadium, which hosted the final match of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Built by Qatari Diyar, which is a government-owned real estate company, Lusail was envisioned as a showpiece for what Gulf nations could become, a blend of sustainability, luxury, and modern Islamic identity. But the project wasn't without friction. As construction ramped up for the World Cup, the city drew global scrutiny. Allegations of human rights abuses against migrant workers hit headlines. Labor reforms followed, but controversy lingered. Even after the world left Qatar, Lusail remained underpopulated, with entire districts eerily quiet, sparkling but unfinished. At a cost of over $45 billion, Lusail is a marvel, a message, and a mystery all at once. Is it a sustainable prototype for desert cities, or a mirage of over-engineered ambition? Number 8. Dubai's Al Maktoum International Airport. In a city that thrives on breaking records, Dubai International Airport was no longer enough. Enter Al Maktoum International Airport, also known as Dubai World Central, a project so massive, it's designed to eventually become the largest airport in the world. Located 37 kilometers southwest of Dubai, this mega hub is projected to handle up to 255 million passengers annually when completed, more than twice that of Atlanta, the current global leader. Construction began in 2010 with a vision to turn the Dubai South region into a new economic hub, complete with logistics centers, exhibition zones, and entire communities built around the airport. The mastermind behind this transformation is Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, whose vision is to cement Dubai as the world's ultimate aviation gateway. Airlines like Emirates are betting big on the project, planning to shift operations once it's complete. Yet the journey hasn't been smooth. Originally set for full completion by 2027, the timeline has seen repeated delays, impacted by the 2008 financial crisis, oil market instability, and most recently, the global pandemic. Despite this, construction resumed in phases with renewed focus in the 2020s. With an estimated price tag exceeding $36 billion, the airport isn't just a transport hub. It's a city-building exercise in turbo mode. If completed as promised, it will redefine how we fly, move, and live around air travel. Number 9. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD. High in the Blue Nile Basin, tucked in the misty highlands of western Ethiopia, sits a dam that has electrified hope and ignited international tension. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, is Africa's largest hydroelectric power project and one of its most politically sensitive. Construction began in 2011, driven by Ethiopia's bold ambition to light up its grid and become a regional energy exporter. Standing 145 meters tall and stretching 1.8 kilometers across the Nile, the dam is a feat of engineering, capable of producing over 6,000 megawatts of power, enough to double Ethiopia's electricity output. But GERD story isn't just about turbines and megawatts. It's about geopolitics, history, and national identity. For Ethiopians, the dam represents liberation from foreign aid and dependence, a renaissance, as the name suggests. For Egypt and Sudan, it raises alarm bells. The Nile is their lifeblood, and any disruption to its flow is viewed as an existential threat. The GERD is also the primary reason for Egypt to start the new Nile Delta project that we mentioned earlier. Years of negotiations, UN involvement, and regional summits have yet to fully resolve the impasse. Filling of the reservoir began in 2020, sparking both celebration and condemnation. The project, estimated at $4.2 billion, was largely self-funded through government bonds and citizen donations. As a rare feat of national mobilization, GERD is not just a dam. It's a lightning rod for Africa's development dilemmas, balancing sovereignty, environment, and diplomacy on a river that binds nations. Number 10. Melaka Gateway and Khavda Solar Park. We end our journey with two projects that shine a light on the future, one through ambition and the other through solar brilliance. First, the Melaka Gateway in Malaysia. Announced in 2014 as a cluster of artificial islands designed to transform the historic trading port of Melaka into a modern maritime powerhouse. Featuring a deep-sea port, cruise terminals, luxury homes, and theme parks, the project was pegged as a Southeast Asian Dubai, powered by Chinese investment under the Belt and Road Initiative. But the project quickly became mired in political and financial turbulence. After a change in government, the Malaysian federal administration canceled the agreement in 2020, citing irregularities and strategic concerns. Later, local stakeholders revived it, but its future remains uncertain. Its grand vision caught in the tides of shifting alliances and economic uncertainty. Meanwhile, in the scorching plains of Gujarat, India, something quieter, but no less significant, is rising. The Khavda Solar Park is poised to become the largest renewable energy installation on Earth. Spanning over 72,000 hectares, this solar and wind complex aims to generate a staggering 30 gigawatts of power, enough to power tens of millions of homes. Built by India's Adani Green Energy, the park is a cornerstone of India's push toward net zero by 2070. Unlike concrete cities or mega dams, Khavda represents a new kind of mega project. Decentralized, sustainable, and rooted in climate urgency. One is a symbol of ambition mired in delay. The other, a quiet revolution under the sun. So, what ties all these stories together? From dams and deserts to ports and solar farms, these mega projects tell us something deeper about humanity. They reveal our hunger to build, our fear of being left behind, our faith in progress, and the friction between dreams and reality. They also ask hard questions. Who benefits? Who pays the price? And what happens when ambition outpaces foresight? From Malaysia's forest city to India's solar frontier in Khavda, from the Renaissance Dam fueling dreams and disputes, to Dubai's aviation ambitions, each of these projects reflects something deeper than concrete and steel. They mirror our fears of being left behind and our unrelenting hunger to shape the future. But mega projects are more than scale, they're stories. Stories of innovation, resilience, overreach, and sometimes redemption. Which of these left you in awe? Which one shocked you? Or made you think differently about the world we're building? We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and tell us what mega project we should cover next. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's most mind-blowing infrastructure feats, don't forget to subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a story. Until next time, keep looking beyond concrete, because the future is already under construction.